Time now for the morning rush. We start with a manhunt underway this morning for a man with a violent past, now accused of shooting and killing a woman unprovoked. This morning, police say he may have fled the state. An arrest warrant has been issued for Philip Cedillo, who's accused of shooting and killing his neighbor, Anna Marie Charette, for no apparent reason and injuring a witness. Cedillo's charged with 1 count of murder and 1 count of aggravated battery. Investigators asking more victims of a man accused of impersonating a veterinarian to come forward. He's now out of jail this morning. Richard Sanchez was arrested Monday after a woman claims 3 puppies suffered nerve damage. 1 died after taking them to Sanchez. Sanchez admitted he had performed similar procedures on other animals, but has no training. He's charged with 8 felony counts of animal cruelty. New details for you this morning, leaving the nation stunned. Voters in several states making their voices heard in Tuesday's key primary races. The most shocking outcome coming from New York. Political newcomer Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez beating out incumbent Democratic Representative Joe Crowley. He's been serving since 1999. Also, this former presidential candidate Mitt Romney won the Republican primary for a Utah Senate seat. On to new overnight news for you. A new court ruling by a federal judge in California ordering authorities to reunite separated immigrant families in the next 30 days, setting a hard deadline for federal authorities. Federal officials can no longer detain parents away from their minor children unless the parent is deemed unfit. The court order also changes the failed phone contact that was set up by the Trump administration. This morning, demonstrations likely to continue after the Supreme Court upheld the latest version of President Trump's travel ban. The policy applies to 5 mostly Muslim countries and also affects North Korea and Venezuela. Chief Justice John Roberts said the travel ban was squarely within the scope of presidential authority to protect national security. On their way, around 100 of New Mexico's immigrant leaders are on a bus as we speak, traveling to Tornillo, Texas, demanding an end to the separation of families. Their trip comes less than 1 week after New Mexico's U.S. Senators Martin Heinrich and Tom Udall visited the border town for a first-hand look at the current immigration situation there. This comes as several states are taking on the president. 17 states announcing they are suing the Trump administration to force it to reunite families. New Mexico is among the states. In a statement from the Office of Attorney General Hector Valderas, a spokesperson says in part the AG remains focused on the litigation filed against the president. Kristen.
Mostly sunny skies over the majority of the state. We're just keeping an eye on a few spot storms possible over the southern higher terrain, as well as the eastern slopes of the Sangre de Cristo Mountains. Coverage very limited, not likely to be severe either. We're going to continue with these conditions as we get into Thursday. Just a few more of those spotty storms likely east of the Central Mountains. Crystal?
This morning, the city is still saying there's nothing they can do about a public sign with a 4-letter word on it. The sign is in the yard of an unfinished home in the Heights near San Pedro and Montgomery. It says in part, new mayor, same old S word. The home at the center of a long-standing feud. After approving the plans in 2011, the city forced the homeowner to stop because he built it too close to the property line. The city says the sign is protected free speech on private property. Fire crews near Durango waking up today, headed back out to the front lines of the 416 fire as it continues to burn. At last check, the fires burned more than 35,000 acres. It's 36% contained. At last check, it grew about 234 acres just yesterday. The cause still under investigation this morning. And crews working to put out another blaze in northern New Mexico's Sardinas Canyon fire, burning 15 miles southeast of Taos. It's about 500 acres in size. The cause of this fire also unknown. Kristen.
Today's Metro Threat Index up to a 4 because of the brutal heat we have in the forecast. We're talking temperatures 100 plus across the Rio Grande Valley. So please make sure you're limiting your time outdoors, frequent breaks in the shade, stay hydrated, and lots of sunscreen. Crystal?
On to news happening right now. Bernalillo County Commissioners approved $1.75 million in economic development grants for Topgolf. In return, though, Topgolf has agreed to create at least 200 jobs. The company's slated to build a $38 million entertainment complex. The county's package is in addition to the $2.6 million agreement that was finalized last week by Albuquerque city councilors. We're looking ahead for you on this Wednesday morning. A New Mexico geologist now saying he will work with the feds to legally find debris potentially connected to the Roswell UFO sighting. Frank Kimbler caught the attention of the BLM for his almost decade-long dedication in finding physical proof of the famed 1947 sighting. He thought he was just a test away from discovering the truth when the BLM contacted him, but they only wanted to clarify rules and regulations with him, of which he will now follow. On to other news happening right now. The city continues to take action removing nuisance buildings from neighborhoods. They began by targeting businesses along Central. Once the city identifies a problem property, they attempt to contact the owner. The owner then has 60 days to make changes. If that does not happen, though, the city can issue penalties, which can be up to $500 a day. Kristen.
Time now for a check on traffic. We do have an accident reported in the intersection as you're coming off I-40 eastbound onto Wyoming. So heads up there. Also, we do have a little bit of a slowdown. That's I-25 northbound just past the Sunport. Big Eye looks moving smoothly, though.
Ahead for you, Bernalillo County Metropolitan Court will welcome all servicemen and servicewomen to its Veterans Resource Day tomorrow. It was originally set up for just veterans in the Community Veterans Court program, which helps veterans facing misdemeanors through probation, treatment, and counseling. 35 community agencies will be there. It is happening from 3 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. Again, that is tomorrow.
53 now, that is. As far as what's going on with the day planner, I'm thinking 90s and low 100s in my head. 100 degrees is our forecast high today. It's hot even by June standards. Triple digits are hot here in Albuquerque, and it's going to be a day widespread 90s and low 100s. We've got spotty storms possible over eastern New Mexico as well as the Sacramentos. I can tell you right now the coverage is going to be very isolated. Rain chances do look to improve though by the time we hit Friday. Allergy report shows quinopods, pine, and juniper down to low for today. So good news there. Just make sure you're taking care of yourself, your pets, elderly, and kids out there in the heat.
All right, time for the 5 facts.
We begin with number 5. Is there life out there? A New Mexico geologist may be the next person to answer that. The geologist says he will work with the BLM to legally find debris potentially connected to the Roswell UFO sighting. This after Frank Kimbler caught the attention of the feds for his almost decade-long dedication to finding physical proof of the famed 1947 sighting. He's collected 20 metallic fragments that he's trying to prove are connected to the crash.
Number 4 now this morning, the city is still saying there's nothing they can do about a public sign with a 4-letter word on it. The sign is at a home in the Heights near San Pedro, Montgomery. It says in part, new mayor, same old S word. The unfinished home is at the center of a long-standing feud between homeowner Johnny Robinson and the city. After approving the plans in 2011, the city forced Robinson to stop work on the home because he built it too close to the property line. Robinson did not speak with News 13. The city says the sign is protected free speech on private property.
At number 3, record for today stands at 105. The forecast high, I'm going 101 today. We were going to see plenty of sunshine. We've got lots of dry air in place. Just a few spot storms to our south and east. Very similar conditions tomorrow. 100 degrees expected here in Albuquerque. Slightly cooler with better rain chances by Friday.
Number 2 now, breaking overnight news. A federal judge in California ordering authorities to reunite separated immigrant families within the next 30 days. This sets a hard deadline for federal authorities who are still scrambling to find a way to bring the families together. According to the court order, federal officials can no longer detain parents away from their minor children unless the parent is deemed unfit or does not want to be with the child. Officials say more than 2,000 immigrant children have been separated from their parents after crossing the border illegally as a result of the Trump administration's zero-tolerance policy. The president recently signed an executive order stopping that practice. That brings us to number 1 now. Police say the man with a violent past is now accused of shooting and killing his neighbor unprovoked. Albuquerque police issued an arrest warrant for Philip Cedillo. APD says Cedillo shot his neighbor, Anna Marie Charette, who was just sitting with another man near a park on Manal near Indian School. Police say Cedillo confronted the pair for no apparent reason, asked the victim who she was with, then started shooting. The witness is recovering from injuries this morning.